Hey guys, can't flip for ship. Today's video is going to be on why I'm getting rid of this battle song right here, the Ti Wraith by EPS Knives. It's pretty cool. I really have been enjoying this knife. I love it. So you might be asking yourself like, well, why do you want to get rid of it? And the answer is that I feel like this is, a little bit different than a lot of other battle songs that I've had in the past, in the sense that like I would get rid of them because there's a discrepancy on like something I didn't like, or I wanted to try new things. But for this one, this is just something that to me I had felt. So here's the situation. Like, for those of you who don't know, I'm old as fuck. I'm basically an unk. I have a life outside of this hobby that is like pretty busy. Shit. Not saying that a lot of you guys don't, but I know that a lot of people in this hobby tend to be a little bit younger. Sorry, this bell sounds like super slippery right now. My hands are dry. So, but yeah, so for me, this is more so like something I do whenever I'm free, like a side hobby and stuff like that. But I do a lot of other things, and I also have a fiance. People who are like have been on the channel like for a little bit different amount of time, like a little bit less time or longer time, will probably remember I used to have videos with her in them. I called her Can Flip for Ship. But anyways, and we've been together for a really long time. So coming up, we are going to be having our wedding. We're going to be doing it in another state, and we're going to be traveling basically all the way across the country. On the way back, on the way over we're going to fly, but on the way back we're going to drive. Whoa. And I make an okay amount of money, but at the same time, you want to be wise about the things you spend your money on in this economy. And we're already kind of going a little bit above and a little bit further than some people with the wedding, with the cost of everything that we're doing. And so for this, I thought to myself, this battle song is a battle song that is worth anywhere from $400 to $600, depending on where you sell it, where you get it, stuff like that. And for me, I started really thinking about, this is an all-time battle song for me, like something that I, as soon as I saw it, I knew. I was like, this is a beautiful, awesome knife that I really, really want. But I never had the chance to get it, right? And now I do. So it was hard for me to come to reconciliation with the fact that, like, in some sense, like, the money that I spent on this battle song would have been better spent on something else. Like, and the truth of the matter is that we have that trip coming up. And if I could get, $600, $500 for this battle song, those are effectively the prices of memories. This life is short, and we have a lot of chances to add possessions to our bounty of things that we have in this life, but we don't have a lot of chances to add memories. And, I love this hobby, but at the same time, I don't love this hobby more than I love my fiance. And I want every chance I can to make as many memories with her as I can. And so, if I spend that money on this battle song, I'll have it, probably for life. But also, if I spend that money on those moments with her while we're young, while we're enjoying ourselves, there's no limit to the amount of things and memories that we can make. And I felt like I'd be doing a disservice to our commitment and our life together that we're starting if I didn't just say, you know what, screw the battle songs. Let's just say fuck it and sell at least, the more expensive one, and spend that money, like, for the amount of money that you guys can get for one of these girl battle songs, like a Nami or, even this Wraith. You can go and you can buy a hotel, and you can pay for the gas to get somewhere, and you can pay for an adventure in your life. Now, if you love battle songs, like, it's obviously not worth it to do that all the time, right? But it is worth it to do it sometimes. And I think that's something that's worth noting in this life, is that, you know, as hobbyists in this hobby, I've seen a lot of people here who, it seems like, you know, they spend a lot of money, and everybody has different financial situations. But I know for a fact that everyone that's spending all that money on these battle songs does not, you know, even if you make a lot of money, it doesn't make sense to always be spending thousands and thousands of dollars on battle songs. The best way to put it is, like, I'm a guy where, in my situation, I probably could afford, you know, to be buying every one of these battle songs that I like. But I don't, because there's other things in life that are important, you know what I mean? And I think you guys, I know I'm probably preaching to the choir, because I'm sure there's a lot of you that know this already or that are pretty wise. But just if there's anyone out there that is, you know, is in a similar situation, or you find yourself, you know, buying too many battle songs and thinking to yourself, like, man, I've lost the plot, I really need to lock in. I think this is a good thing to say, like, hey, I'm in the same boat with you. And I had to say to myself leading up to my own wedding, like, hey, lock in, man. There's things that are more important than battle songs. And now, you know, I am happy with the fact that I'm getting rid of this, more so than I've ever been about, you know, purchasing, because I'm just thinking, like, man, there's so many awesome things that I'm going to be able to do, and so many possibilities that open up, and I don't really need this battle song, you know. I love it. This has nothing to do with the quality of the Ti Wraith. It flips a little different than I expected. The balance is a little bit different, but I mean, all in all, it's a good battle song. So there's really no complaints that I have about it, you know, but it's just an issue of, you know, I don't think this battle song is so great that it's worth more than whatever fun times I'm going to have with the money that I would sell it for. And, you know, these days, like $100, $200, you can't really do much with that. But you 3x that, and you definitely can, right? So that's how I feel about with this thing. And I'm not saying sell all your battle songs and go do a bunch of crazy shit, but I am saying, like, find what the balance is for you, and then do what you can to find that balance. Because for me, I think that balance lies somewhere in the fact that I'm having to get rid of this thing, and I don't really mind that, you know what I mean? I don't mind that one bit. So that's sort of my situation, guys. Talk to me in the comments about if you've had something similar, or if you are, you know, in the same boat. So, oops, rock on.